Anyway.
Next whiskey, 70.27, Fire and Earth, second fill toasted French oak barrique. 10-year-old, May 2007 distillation, one of 285 bottles I got out of that cask, 60.6%. I know that we've tried
Scotch Whisky Society.
Yeah. I know that Stuart has tried this before because my name is written on this bottle, which means I left it at the Whiskey Society at work for one night at least. So he's tried this, but
I want to point out, Andrew, how good a friend I am. That bottle's not empty, and you left it in my charge.
Listen, there is no one more trustworthy with whiskey than you, because all of those bottles from the Whiskey Society are in your office, and I do not fear at all. They are guarded. They are well protected. They are well maintained. There's never been an incident where I was concerned at all. And it's largely because, like, if I bring something wonderful in, I'm going to share it with everyone. And if someone else brings something wonderful in, we're going to share it with everyone. So it's great stewardship. And see, Stuart.
I'm going to tell you some
stewardship. That's where it comes from.
I'll tell your viewers something right now, which might be kind of strange. I've already said one thing that might be hard to believe, that I only just went to a distillery for the first time recently. And the whole time I was in Scotland, I had to travel back from America to go to a distillery for the first time. However, there's another revelation.
You fucking love whiskey.
I fucking love whiskey. I nearly got it in there, Andrew.
I was there, and then just right in that instant, it was like, oh fuck! Here's what he's going for. Fuck! No, I got to get in there.
So that's how you win the game, is you turn it around on them before they get to it.
Before they can get it in.
I really like this game.
New glass is another Pete meeting.
Oh,
this is 2018 Pete meeting.
Oh, I managed to pull a glass that was not logoed.
Oh, that's a
Glencairn.
That's a stiff pull there. Look at that.
Yeah, I know. I think I may have gone overboard, but you know what?
That's not half an ounce.
No, this is probably an ounce.
That's like an ounce and a half. I think.
That's about an ounce. But here's the thing. I know I like this one, so I'm not concerned.
I have a cat in my lap now.
That Balblair was one of those ones that kind of just nobody paid attention to at all. And it was just, I guess, this was a long time ago, and Collier, our friend at the Society, bought a Balblair that was just, I think that might have been an AD Ratchet. I think it was an AD Ratchet. I think it was like a 1990.
Is this his most favorite bottle of all time?
Oh, it was astonishing. He shared it with us, and it was like, and he's been on auctions to find it to add to his collection at home. But it is one of the, I'd say it's in my top 20 of all time.
I've never had one.
Whiskey.
I've never had a whiskey from this distillery before. Now, is this something that also would end up in blended and is now available, or has it always been available?
No, I've only ever tasted it in independent bottlers. But I do believe they have shelf stock.
Yes, they do.
You're not going to see it.
It's not common.
Yeah, you're not going to see it.
But I do have a distillery bottling. Balblair, I think it's a 5-year-old. So they do their own, but this is not something you would see very commonly. It's just around the corner from Glenmorangie.
Oh, I'm getting, this one's very fruity. This is very fruity. This is
plums or...
this is, I think of that cornucopia of like just, fruits. Like there's a lot of stuff going on here.
It's like a fruit cake. It's like a Dundee fruit cake. It's like a sultanas. It's got oranges. It's got orange peel. It's got...
Andrew's holding his finger up.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't want to interrupt you, but for the rest of us, a sultana is...
It's a dried grape.
A dried grape, which most people would call...
A raisin.
A raisin. There are slight differences, of which I can't actually tell you the difference, honestly. I read it up on it, a while back just to be able to explain this. Can't remember what I read, but they're kind of like.
Oh, look! It says down there what the difference is.
No.
Andrew just made work for himself.
You can add that in later.
Yeah, no, I do. This is the way I give myself work when I'm editing this episode.
Yeah, this
Oh.
It reminds me of when my mother used to make clouty dumpling. And clouty dumpling is like it's a pudding, but this size, and it's got all of the things I've mentioned. It has mixed spices. It has sultanas, raisins. It has orange peel. It has all these different things, and it's all in this big doughy bread.
What was the first word? You said as something. A what?
Clouty dumpling.
Clouty?
And the clouty is the cloth. It's how we would say cloth.
Clouty dumpling.
So you put it all in this cloth and tie it up and let it drip.
And you boiled it. You put it in a big bath of hot water and boiled it, and then you put it into the oven and kind of like made the skin kind of like crusty, and absolutely delicious. But it has all those things that I'm talking about, all those different fruits, but also those mixed spices, and I'm getting mixed spice coming out of this. Just on the just on the nose.
Just on the nose.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it reminds me of the Bowmore, but like it's more. This is more. There's like more stuff going on. You know what I mean?
More spices in this, definitely.
There's more flavors.
This is one of those memory things for me. Because my mother used to make she only made it for birthdays, special occasions, because it took hours to make this thing. But what she would do is she'd bring the dumpling through in its cloth, and you got to smack it. You smack the dumpling before it went in the water. And this was one of the treats for us to smack the dumpling. And it was like, but what in actual fact, there was a reason behind that. That was about shaping the dumpling.
Sure.
You thought it was just we got to take out our anger on it, slapping it around. But there was a particular reason for it. You'd done that specifically.
This smells like Christmas to me. That's what it smells like to me.
And that's clouty dumpling was always a Christmas type thing or a birthday type thing. But you're right, definitely.
It's got sort of a mulled wine quality, or just like all of the delightful foods that you would have at Christmas time, really.
My mother used to make this black bread, and it had molasses in it. And this is the beater after she mixed that stuff up and had made the bread, and we got to take the beater and lick it. And it's that molasses, dark, floury, just wonderful stuff.
This is my favorite thing that we've had so far.
Honest to goodness,
I just tasted it.
Incredible.
This is so good.
This is incredible.
It's really good.
I don't know. This is blowing away stuff that's like the Supernova is one of those things that I just love. And this is just like, forget about it.
Yeah, it's like light years beyond that. Yeah, this is amazing. Oh, it's so good.
And this is one of the things as well with take is you can get so much enjoyment out of something simple, and then you can go all the way up to a complexity like this, and a strength and a volume that this has, a volume and flavor, not just volume and alcohol, and you work your way towards these, and you have an enjoyment through them all. And this is kind of one of the things that I have to remind people: you never ever drink this Balblair right off the bat.
No, I would not go to this first.
You'll just be like, I can't taste anything.
You'll be obliterated.
Yeah, it just, there's so much volume in this. It's incredible. I remember when we were again going back to the class we used to do, we had a Craigellachie that was bottle strength and a Craigellachie that was cask strength, and we would offer them at the end of the classes too. And people were going, I need to buy that cask strength Craigellachie. It was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And I remember my friend bought a bottle of it. He was doing the photographs at the time, and he says, I'm buying a bottle of that. And it was $170. It wasn't cheap. He got it home and he says, I tasted it the other night and didn't taste anywhere near as good. I said,
Did you warm up?
Did you taste it at the bottle? And he went, yeah. I says, that night you had 4 other whiskies before you tasted that one. I recommend you get yourself some banknote or something, and get your palate awake. You have to get your palate awake to be able to get into these whiskies. You can't just go straight at it and go. I mean, some people can, who have been drinking whiskey forever, but just in general, it's always a good plan. And we do a little test for anybody that's kind of like sort of novice level. I hate seeing newbie or novice because it's a shame because they've been drinking booze for a long time. But
if they know it's good for them.
But yeah, exactly. But if you go into a situation where you go, I'll just pick and choose. So we actually, when we put our selection of whiskies, we put it in an order, an advised or recommended order to drink them. And what I like to do is we used to always have Powers Gold Label as a starter up front. That was a kind of a go-to regular for us, because it was a nicely priced and just a lovely, beautiful, delicate little sort of airy sort of whiskey, and it was lovely. And so we would start anybody that was not familiar with the variety that they're going to experience. And we'd start them there and we'd work them along. And there was these 2 girls came along and they were quite young. And so their experience of whiskey was Maker's Mark.
They were legal drinking age. Let's just be clear.
Yeah, no, they were like 23 or something like that. But they came along and their sort of normal would be a Maker's Mark, but they would also have that in a cocktail as well. So they didn't quite know what they were kind of getting into. So I started them off with the Powers, and oh my goodness, they made it all the way through the whole list. And we had some really heavy hitters at the far end of the bar. And I said, right, you loved the very first whiskey you tasted tonight. Remember what it was? Yeah, Powers, right? Okay. And I said, go back and try it now. They went back and tried it. They went, where'd it go?
Mm-hmm.
Where'd it go? Tastes like water. I said, exactly. And that's the point. The point is about getting your palate awake to be able to accept. I mean, this thing's a beast, man. Oh,
this is a beast.
Oh yeah. Well, the last few were a beast. I feel like Mortlock On or even the Bowmore is like, you know, it's like those last few, like boom, 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 like that. You know, brought us here. You know,
this is, it's like you were saying. It's like Christmas. There's so many flavors of Christmas coming out of this. It's just unbelievable.
Now, is anybody going to science this? That's my other question that I always ask.
I don't think I want to change it. This is
maybe
I'm good with it right now.
Yeah, I'm not going to. I have no interest in it in doing that.
If we were at the society, I would definitely do science on it.
I mean, we would have to. Like if we were sampling this for everyone else, if this was a society bottle, absolutely we do science. I'm going to do it right at the very end because I have the full bottle. And so I can always go back to it without water if need be. And I'm also interested to know for bottles that I have that society doesn't have, what our water recommendation is.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to do that now too. I'm starting to become like Collier with my obsessive notes about.
So this was at the society though. So that means ostensibly there is a recommendation from the society, right?
No, this was a personal bottle.
So the society buys all these bottles, and then often we bring in our own bottles to say, well, once all those bottles are tasted, we got something that might blow your socks off.
Okay.
And they share things. Like people bring in PC5 bottles. People bring in, Black Art. People bring in Balblair. People bring in these bottles that are just amazing and wonderful. And
have you ever put water in Black Art? I don't think I would ever do it, but
I have not.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you something. It's one of the things, the best bits about the society is that point at the end of the evening where, it's just the old stalwarts that are left, and we're going, right, okay, let's put on some different music and just chill and relax. Because the business of, doing an event is now over.
Yeah, teaching people
some of the
they're new
bottles
to
that
it.
come out. Oh my god! There was one night I had the Octomore 6, and I said, right, okay, I'm bringing out the Octomore 6, but Collier had, because I told Collier beforehand, and he says, I'm going to bring in the 1, the original.
Oh.
So we're set up, and we pour the 6 for the whoever was left. I think it was like 3 or 4 of us left. We poured the 6, and we were all just going, oh my god, this is amazing. It's amazing. It's like, and then Collier poured the 1, and we tasted that, and the 6 just went, disappeared. It was gone. It's like, it was unbelievable. It was tenfold. It was beyond belief. And we're like going, oh, what happened to the 6? It's gone. And this is what I'm getting with the Balblair. I've tasted so many beautiful, beautiful whiskies. But this Balblair is just like,
yeah.
damn.
It blows them all away. It blows them all away.
And I do remember we had a whiskey barbecue one time, and I think I brought the Octomore 6, and Collier brought the Octomore 2 and the Octomore 1. And the 6 was fantastic. The 6 was unbelievable. It's so good. And the 2 just blew the doors off the 6. And then we tried the 1, and we're like, what? I never want to drink whiskey again. I can't.
It was tenfold. It was tenfold. It wasn't just a little bit better. This was stratospheric. It was through the roof.
Same thing with the PC5. I remember the first night I tried the PC5, and you guys were like watching me intently trying this, and just like I was like, boo, 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 boo. And I went back after that, and I thought I'm going to reset with an Ardbeg. I could not taste the Ardbeg. I couldn't. It was like not there. It was water. Oh my god, yeah.
You know something? I fucking like whiskey. No, I don't. I fucking love it.
And with that call, I think Stuart just ended the show without.
Yeah, I think it's ended the
I've
show.
still got more to go. No. I've got too many stories to tell you. I've got too many stories to tell you.
Every week, Joseph has a map on his board here behind him. That is a game map. It's not this map of Scotland next to him in the orange. It's the game map, and we do a contest. Like if someone can name what the game it is from we will send them a copy of Joseph's postcard games.
Right. The game and the specific, game supplement that it's from. Like not just the game, but like what is this? What is this a map of, and what is it from?
Yeah. All I can see behind you is Scotland, which means distilleries to me.
Yeah, no, it is. This is from the Scotch. This is from the Scotch Whiskey Society, so that's why it's
distracted. Sorry,
it
Joseph.
has all the different. No, that's fine. That's also an important map. There's 2 things I love. It's nerdy games and Scotch. So those are 2 of my loves.